And who remembers that series from the 1960s? Come on, put the name over there on the right-hand side. J.M. Smucker, the maker of Jif peanut butter, announced it will eliminate synthetic food colors from all of its consumer products, aligning with JFK Jr.'s Maha agenda. The GOP Senate canceled today's big, beautiful bill vote after John Thune let unelected parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonald gut Trump orders, cut Doge relief, and restore welfare for illegals. That's not going to fly. The Supreme Court ruled that President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship can be enforced in selected regions of our country. The U.S. Supreme Court rules that parents have the right to remove their children from public school lessons that include LGBTQ-themed storybooks. President Trump says he would have no hesitation bombing Iran again if intelligence confirms that Iranian enrichment reaches a level that raises serious global concern. President Trump has announced an immediate end to all trade talks with Canada. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is pushing hard with a plan to mass vaccinate the nation's food supply in an effort to address the so-called bird flu. President Trump announces that a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine is set to be declared next week. Federal agents have just dismantled an Iranian human smuggling operation based in Los Angeles with reported links to terrorist networks. The Department of Homeland Security is awarding a $94 million contract in grants to Jewish organizations to help fight anti-Semitism. Your tax money being spent wisely there? Construction crews are currently installing large anti-scale barriers around the White House and the Treasury building right now in Washington, D.C. We have a story on this. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has said none of the deported illegal immigrants was accountable. One of the deported illegal immigrants was accountable, who began eating his own arm during a flight. Can you imagine? Don Lemon and Harry Sisson have joined forces as reporters to discredit and undermine the Trump administration. Hollywood is facing an existential crisis as a growing number of movie producers move their operations to other states and countries. Warren Buffett has donated a record $6 billion in shares to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Pfizer has delayed its study on the risk of heart damage in individuals under 21 who received its COVID-19 vaccine, pushing the investigation back to 2030. Musk says President Trump's big beautiful bill will cost millions of jobs and cause serious harm to the United States. Carmelo Anthony has been officially granted indigenous status, meaning he is now legally recognized as broke and unable to afford legal representation despite raising over $500,000 in donations. Well, welcome back. Today we're diving into an interesting intersection of philosophy, history, economics as we explore the 7 branches of human knowledge and how they relate to sound money and silver. The 7 branches of human knowledge rooted in ancient philosophy have long been considered the foundation of human understanding. These 7 categories cover all fields of intellectual thought, from natural sciences to ethics and metaphysics. They are mathematics, astronomy, music, geometry, logic, ethics, and rhetoric. And we're going to be going over each one of these things here briefly. We're going to have some fun doing it, though. At first glance, these seem like unrelated to silver or the concept of sound money, but as we explore each one, you'll see how these pillars of human wisdom actually shape our understanding of money and, more importantly, of silver as the foundation of sound money systems. Let's start with mathematics. Money is, at its very core, numerical concept. It's about value, measurement, and exchange, concepts that are governed by mathematical principles. When we think about sound money, we're considering the stability, predictability, and consistency of its value. Silver, like gold, has intrinsic value rooted in its scarcity and utility. For thousands of years, the price of silver has been measurable and relatively stable in relationship to other goods and currencies, making it an ideal candidate for a sound money system. Once again, the mathematical consistency in silver's value, whether through the weight of a coin, the purity of its form, or ensured it remains a trusted medium of exchange throughout human history. So let's talk about astronomy and celestial metaphor of silver. Let's look at astronomy. The ancient Greeks saw their stars as symbols of eternal truth and order. Silver, in a way, shares the same connection with the heavens. Just as the stars represent a fixed, consistent presence in our skies, Silver provides a constant and reliable foundation for the global economy. The moon, whose luminous glow has been linked with silver in various cultures, have you heard of the silver moon? Represents a symbol of cycles and consistency, something that is essential when it comes to sound money. Silver's role in monetary systems can be seen as celestial anchor, offering stability amidst chaos of fluctuating fiat currencies. Moving on to music, this one might surprise you. Music is about balance, rhythm, and harmony, isn't it? It's about creating a seamless flow that brings various notes together into a unified whole. In the same way, sound money, like silver, serves as a harmonious backdrop to economic activity. Just as a symphony depends on each instrument being played in tune, a thriving economy relies on a balanced monetary system. When silver is used as a standard, it creates a stable rhythm in markets, a far cry from the discordant noise created by inflationary fiat currencies under Keynesian economics. In geometry, we deal with shapes, angles, and measurements, the very foundation of structure. Sound money needs a solid structure to maintain its value. Silver is unique in its physical properties. It is durable, malleable, and can be formed into various shapes from coins to bars, making an ideal medium from exchange. Geometry's relationship to silver can be seen in the precise measurements required to mint the silver coin. The shape and weight of silver currency are calculated to ensure fairness and consistency in trade, providing a tangible form to the abstract concept of money. We need uniformity in each country for their money. That's why we have something called coin of the realm. Next, we have logic. Logic is the art of reasoning, drawing conclusions based on evidence. The logical argument for silver as sound money is grounded in its historical use and intrinsic properties. Unlike fiat currencies, which are subject to governmental manipulation and inflation, silver's value is rooted in nature. The logic behind using silver as money is straightforward, as it has been a trusted store of value for millennia. Its scarcity, utility, and demand in industrial applications ensure that silver will continue to serve as a reliable medium of exchange. Now let's turn to ethics. Ethics deals with what's right and what's wrong, justice and fairness. The use of silver as money aligns with ethical principles because it represents a fair and just system of exchange. Unlike fiat money, which can be printed without limit, leading to inequality and corruption, silver's scarcity ensures that its value cannot be manipulated at will. Silver's backed money upholds the ethical standards of honesty and transparency, a stark contrast to the debt based inflationary systems we see today presented and representing Keynesian economics. We're moving to Austrian monetary economics, a silver standard for the people. Lastly, we have rhetoric, the art of persuasion. It's about using language to shape opinions, ideas, and actions. When it comes to sound money, rhetoric plays a critical role. The way we talk about money influences how we view its value and utility. Throughout history, silver has been portrayed as a symbol of wealth and security. The rhetoric surrounding silver in our modern financial discussions shapes how people perceive its value and its role in today's economy. As more people seek alternatives to unstable fiat currencies, the rhetoric around silver and its qualities as sound money has gained strength, persuading many to return to the precious metal we have. In conclusion, the 7 branches of human knowledge again are mathematics, astronomy, music, geometry, logic, ethics, and rhetoric. All help us to understand why silver is the bedrock of sound money. From its mathematical stability to its ethical grounding and logical consistency, silver fulfills every criterion of what constitutes real money. It offers harmonious system of exchange that is rooted in the timeless principles of human knowledge. And as we look to the future, it stands as a beacon of stability in a world where fiat currencies are increasingly unreliable. So thanks for joining me today, Ted Heads. Let's continue to explore the world of sound money and silver together. And as we continue to understand its deep connection to foundations of human knowledge, let's stay tuned for more exciting discussions. Heat domes and surging grid demand threaten U.S. power grids with blackouts. A new report shows a sharp increase in peak electricity demand, leading to blackout concerns in multiple states. Here's how experts say you can prepare during a heat wave. Hawaiian Airlines hit by a cyber attack. I told you everything has to go down. Hawaiian Airlines airplanes on runway of Daniel Inouye International Airport in Honolulu, Hawaii. I have something signed by Daniel Inouye. He had had an arm blown off in World War I or World War II, and he signed something at a friend of mine, making me an honorary citizen, or Margaret Ann and I, both honorary citizens of Georgia. 27 men arrested in a human trafficking sting operation. In continued efforts to combat human trafficking, the Lake County Sheriff's Special Investigations Group, SIG, we all knew that, right? Conducted a 2-day human trafficking suppression operation this week focused on reducing the demand for purchased sex. A total of 27 men were arrested during the operation. The operations specifically target individuals attempting to purchase sex through online classified advertisements, a tactic regularly used by traffickers to market victims of human trafficking. Undercover detectives posed as individuals offering sex for money. When the offenders arrived at Gorsuch-Hire Hotel and offered money for sexual acts, they were arrested and transported to the Lake County Jail.
Trump is pulling away millions from illegal immigrants, and he's building something no one else dared to build. You need to see this. Trump just signed an executive order to launch the National Center for Warrior Independence in Los Angeles, the largest homeless veteran housing project in U.S. history. Not just beds, not shelters, but an entire system built for recovery, dignity, and power. And where's the money coming from? Well, the money that was used to house illegal immigrants in these hotels is now being used for this project. Trump said America first, and that means veterans first. And you know what? Damn right. LA is ground zero for homeless veterans. LA has 3,000 plus veterans living on the street. That's 1 in 10 of all homeless veterans in this country. This isn't charity. It's structure, treatment, job support, and a real pathway off of the street. Trump's plan restores dignity, and he demands results by 2028. So let's get real. You can't say you support the troops and fund everybody else but them. Trump's not just talking, he's taking action. What are the Democrats doing? We finally have a president that puts veterans first. If you think America's heroes deserve more than tense and broken promises, prove it. Comment veterans first if you agree.
The Pentagon is now reinstating service members who were discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine, says Breitbart. They were right all along. They deserve back pay, full reinstatement, apology, anything else would be a disgrace, says Peter Hegseth. He has my vote. RFK Jr. just declared war on pre-authorization. This is a good one, folks. Listen to this. His new plan would wipe out the insurance loophole that delays or denies care, forcing companies to approve treatments instantly or pay penalties. No more waiting weeks for basic procedures. No more begging for coverage. It's a direct hit on bureaucratic gatekeeping and a massive win for patients.